Chapter 8 NERDS! Yuck, yuck, yuck! Eureka! What's so funny, Winston? Asked Ben curiously, as he was sitting in front of his laptop. My Bitcoin transactions have come through for my ultimate super secret project, Winston exclaimed. Ben looked at him as if astonished by this action. I was also just surfing the internet to get that new hydrogen engine for it, Winston added. I need that part so I can make this project the most revolutionary piece of science mankind will ever witness. The overzealous scrawny teen jumped out of his chair, almost knocking down his Apple notebook. The hamster in the cage beside Winston was running its wheel tirelessly at an unnatural speed, or slip and fall awkwardly on ice like a penguin. Ahmed interrupted while he was trying to get more points and experience from the World of Warcraft game he was playing on his computer. Winston threw him a dirty look. The hamster in the cage then tripped on its feet and fell to the side. Winston simply went over to help the poor creature. He grabbed a needle that contained a diluted green concoction and injected it in the creature's neck. Inefficient, Winston muttered. He then grabbed his personal voice recorder. Journal entry number 699. Update. Winston rapidly muttered in his recording device. The product seems to have increased heart rate at unparalleled levels. The strain is yet to be developed in Exhibit A. Next step, strength testing before actual combination. Early stages under procedure. End game still in the blueprint phase. So what's so confidential about this thing you're working on? Ben asked in a tone that was oozing sarcasm. Plebeian! The ambitious and preoccupied young genius turned his scornful attention to Ben. There is a reason why it is called confidential. Information is power. It can make or break a person. I will reveal it when the time calls for it. Meh, Ben shrugged. And for your information, Winston said in an arrogant tone, at least I would have achieved something in my life, instead of sitting at home all day in mommy's basement, trolling people with Reddit posts and dank memes. Winston then paused for a bit, as if recollecting some valuable information from the back of his interior lobe. Speaking of Reddit, I saw an article the other day about cloning. There were some interesting theories on how to make it possible from certain serums. Winston added to Ben's limited knowledge. Anyways, my brain got sidetracked again. Like I was saying, I am aiming for a bigger purpose that could potentially change the course of our lives. But I guess Flame Wars is the highest point of your valuable day, you voluminous time-wasting parasite? Ben threw back a dirty look. For your information, the wannabe mastermind subredditor stuttered. Guilty as charged. But I too do things that are achievement-worthy enough to change the face of humanity. Oh, and what is that, oh deep-webbed fiend? Enlighten us, Ahmed asked in his thick accent as he finished his PC gaming and switched to play Xbox 360 instead. Gaming headphones and a bowl of chips, accompanied with a can of Monster Energy drink, were settled on the wooden table in front of him. There was also some hip-hop music bumping in the background on the CD player next to him. He had just bought the latest 50 Cent and G-Unit albums and had been putting them on rotation all day long. Ahmed started to play the new Call of Duty game he just purchased. You want to end up being dead inside? Winston disregarded Ahmed's question as he was still giving Ben his death stare. Dead in IRL, like this guy? Hey! Ahmed yells out while his eyes were glued to the screen. This virtual world called video games to the youth nowadays, Winston sighed before going off, makes one so complacent with having an alternate to the reality that it can consume every fabric and every fiber of their subatomic particles to a point where it causes a constant cycle of an existential crises, merging one's mind with virtual perceptions. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Ahmed, or username Obnoxious-HIGH. This so-called mastermind of ceremonies has won and hosted several gaming awards across the nation via Skype. He has the highest record on the list of the Call of Duty and Halo games. He is also considered to be an avid fighting game competitor. He also likes to fancy himself an artist, as he does enjoy sketching anime art and performing crummy spoken word poems here and there from time to time. But that is more of a side hobby. He is more invested in the gaming industry. He got the username from several hit piece articles from major critics of new age games. Apparently, they were too salty of the fact that he rubs his victories in the faces of the ones who fall to his gaming wrath. Not to mention his constant nagging on the recent mechanics for new generation consoles. Being too simplistic and less complex for him, he deems gameplay for such systems being more catering to the casual fans thanks to the new age game designers. His blog reviews are second to none when it comes to bringing constant traffic. However, here's the million-dollar question. How is this changing the world? Is this the life you want to aspire to live for? Just a loser wasting his time on petty matters? Ever think of using your intellect to conquer the world? How do you suppose we will do that? Ugh. My YouTube channel, duh, Ahmed said calmly as he turned to Winston and gave him a look of apathy. Yuck, yuck, Ben snorted with his nerdish chuckles. Look, Ahmed said in a frustrated tone, as he then swiveled his chair and put down his headphones. Uh-oh, Ben said in a worried tone. I'm telling you, man, Ahmed added as he looked straight up at Winston, who was looking down on him. Me and my family came here for a reason. I came here for a reason, and that is to make the big time. Kind of like you, working hard to fulfill your ambitions as much as I am, Winston. I mean, isn't that what the American dream is supposed to be about? My dream may seem petulant to you now, but it will change the world in the future, believe me. I mean, look at it like this. An introverted, shy Arab boy coming to this country to become more than what he is, to break free from boundaries, to exceed them, to go where no man has gone before, as the intro speaks. My insubordinate Starfleet, Winston sighed as he put his hand on Ahmed's shoulder. I say this for your own good. Do not consider it as a form of disrespect. Like vlogging, writing gaming reviews, scribbling a bunch of nothings can only give you that much attention, whether it be DeviantArt or Tumblr, or whatever platform you use to create miscellaneous content. But it simply doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Even if you use a silly alias to hide your true identity, all for the sake of fun and trolling. What you do online is public, and what you do public will define your legacy. It will define the legacy within, whether you want it to be dark or a shining light of example that could guide the next generations to come. Kind of like me. I make big boy moves. Chess, not checkers, my unassuming comrade. I know I will even manifest my side hobbies into true passions. Ahmed shrugged off Winston's grip. I might end up being, let's say, a revered spoken word artist or a painter, or maybe even $1 billion worth rapper with the bling bling cars, girls, and new kicks I could get. Ha! Winston scoffed. Please, you could barely initiate a conversation with a girl, let alone look her direction whenever she would smile at you. A game you are not able to master, since it is always over before it even starts. I'm not losing sleep over it, Ahmed said in a confident tone. Once my YouTube channel takes off, it is indeed game over, buddy. Ben smiled as he witnessed such an ambitious and driven justification Ahmed just delivered. An astute and stellar explanation on how consistent his effort is being put forth, Ben said in a low voice. For his aspirations and dreams will one day manifest and flourish to great achievements. Now that is inspiring. Oh, now that's groundbreaking, Winston quipped sarcastically. How innovative and original, Mandark. At least it's more original and innovative than your mom's laboratory, Dexter. Ben clapped back as if he was solidifying his defense for his fellow person of color. Winston turned to Ben with a surprised look on his face. What did you say? Winston snapped as he instantly grabbed his black cloak and Darth Vader mask. I don't recall addressing you, insect. Take that back, mongrel, or I shall use the force to choke you out, for I am one step close of becoming your father. Winston then grabbed his toy lightsaber and started to breathe heavily through the mask. He then started to walk towards Ben in threatening fashion. Oh, Ben, it means you are sunning him, Ahmed tried to chime in with a sarcastic tone. Silence, you VR imbecile! Winston clapped back as his eyes were still locked on Ben. I shall treat you both as the vermin that you are. You shall never diss a Sith Lord again. Die! The imposing dark figure ran and caught Ben by the arm as he tried to flee his proximity. The plastic-made lightsaber now held across Ben's larynx. You are choking me. You are choking me. But your mom was choking me too. Ben coughed jokingly. The Force was strong with that one. Winston said as he playfully let go of his trolling companion. I can never stay mad at this kid. Come here, you little rascal. He then gave Ben a noogie after applying a headlock. Of course you can't. Of course you can't. Ben grinned as he rubbed on his neck. My attractive appearance shall forever more outweigh your Sith Force. Winston! Yelled a voice beneath the room. Someone on the phone is asking for you. Coming, Mom! Winston yelled out. That's what I told her. Hey, shut up for once! Winston mouthed to Ben as his mother yelled out something else inaudibly. What is that, Mother? It's urgent! Winston's mother yelled out again. Come down quick and talk to her! The three nerds inquired simultaneously. There was a long silent pause after that. All three of them looked at each other cautiously. Winston's face not only looked as if he had seen a ghost, but had become one too. A girl wants to talk to you? Ben asked, with a look of shock on his face. As in, a girl? Ahmed dropped his game controller with his mouth wide open in disbelief. Winston then took a deep breath, then pretended to look self-assured. The young genius said in a laid-back tone, It might be the person who's selling me the engine. Nerves racking, Winston quickly ran down the stairs. His mother was a massive woman with red curly locks. Her face was layered with heavy makeup. She tightened her apron around her waist after giving the phone to her only child. Winston clasped the receiver with shaky hands. He then lifted it to his ear and almost whispered a meek, Hello. Hello. A quirky voice of a girl snapped on the other end of the receiver. Hello, it's Dorothy Kenneth. Is this Winston? Winston, completely rooted in his place, responded with a quiet yes in disbelief. Not only a girl called his household, but none other than Eagle-High's most popular girl. To top it all, it's also the same popular girl that Winston had a crush on since kindergarten. Okay, so here's the deal, yo, Dorothy yapped while chewing her gum loudly. My cuz game, so wants to meet up with you and your crew. Are you down for that? Winston stuttered uncontrollably. Yeah, sure. Why not? When, where? Co-pres room, Dorothy slammed. Monday, next week, 7:30 a.m. sharp. Be there or be square, bruh. Okay, Winston repeated as if his feet were on ice. Hey, I like that song from 50 Cent, Dorothy conversed. Okay, alright. That was so 2009-ish. Anywho, didn't know you liked rap. Always thought you were into some Deadmau5 or Skrillex techno-ish, totally the laser sounds type of music. Or something dubsteppy like Daft Punk. Or better yet, some Star Wars music like dun 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 da da, anywho. TTYL, bye. 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 Winston stuttered heavily. OMG, don't make me LMFAO, the quirky queen of Eagle-High said. You have a speech impediment going on there, bud. Methinks at least. Cheers, ciao, au revoir, and ta-ta for now. Mwah. 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 The other end of the phone receiver was nothing but the sound of the hang-up tone that represented what Winston was currently feeling. Not feeling lively, he just received an unlikely invitation from an unlikely person in an unlikely location. Winston's facial expression clearly indicated a mixture of fear and worry. Who is that? Winston's mom yelled from the kitchen. Your girlfriend? I wish, Winston muttered under his breath. Feeling glum, he closed his eyes, still in disbelief of what just occurred. Ben and Ahmed were eavesdropping from the top of the stairs. They both looked at each other. A dead receiver. Wowzers, they mouthed simultaneously, almost holding in a laughter. It seemed like Dorothy's voice was loud enough for the whole household to hear. A wowzers,